Well, let's do something fun today. So, we've got a 1989 Honda Pilot. And so these were kind of the first real thing like it in the market. Honda was definitely the first to the game with a single seat, cockpit driven ATV like this. I mean, they made the 250 Odysseys and then made the 350 Odyssey, and then finally in 89 and 90 made the 400 Pilot. So this was the best of those versions. 400cc two-stroke, fully automatic, forward and reverse, electric start, two-wheel drive. They were very solid machines. And nothing really kind of rivaled it or was really even comparable till later. So Polaris eventually made the Polaris Ace. So this one right here is a 2016 900 Ace. So they started out in I think 13 or 14 maybe was the first year for the Ace. They started out as a 325 fuel injected, fully automatic four-wheel drive. So similar sort of design, cockpit driven, steering wheel, single seat, roll cage ATV. So they started with the 325, which was like 32 horsepower. They eventually made the 570 Ace, which was 45 horsepower. And then they made the 900. So this one, it's the same 900 engine. Let's show it here. Same 900 engine that's in the Rangers and stuff. Slightly detuned in this model. So it's rated at like 60 horsepower. This thing, it only is 48 inches wide, so it's the exact same size as an ATV and stuff. But so we've got 60 horsepower in this one. Doors open on both sides, fuel injected. This one is power steering as well. Forward, neutral, reverse. So with these 900s, this is the SP versions. Like I said, 48 inches wide, basically about 6 foot long. Basically the same size footprint as a typical ATV. They did make the 900 Ace XC model, which was actually a 60-inch wide model, and they increased the horsepower. So on that, it was actually like 78 horsepower on the 900 XC model, which is pretty crazy for something like this. So compared to the Pilot, like I said, 402 stroke. These things are rated, probably about 35 to maybe 40 horsepower. So we're going to do a little comparison between the two. Kind of a new versus old. Kind of ride around a little bit, give some impressions and thoughts. I think we're going to have to do a drag race too and see which one's faster. I'm probably leaning towards that Polaris Ace there in the win, but, if that's the case, if this Pilot's getting smoked, might just have to grab the big one over here, the 670 Skidoo swapped Pilot, because I know that one will definitely win the race. The Pilot definitely has a weight advantage. The Pilot here weighs probably about 600 pounds is kind of what the spec weight was on it. The Ace, on the other hand, is almost 1,000 pounds. I think dry weight on them was like 966 or something like that. Well, I think we should start them up, drive them around a little bit. Let's see how they compare. We'll just do a little more walk around. So the Pilot was really designed truly as more of a sport machine. The suspension and everything, drivetrain, it's meant to go fast, but still be comfortable. On the other hand, the Ace, a lot of sport to it, but a lot of utility too. So we got front and rear racks. These actually open up. So we've got a little storage box underneath here on the front. Got a little storage box on the back too, which is nice. A little receiver as well. So yeah, you could definitely do some work with these and have all sorts of fun. Pilot, on the other hand, definitely not a work machine by any means. It's meant to be pure fun. And you've got the great two-stroke sound. Another very unique difference between the Pilot. Hand controls. So on the Pilot, you got thumb throttle, individual, front brakes, and rear brakes. You do have indicator lights, electric start, like I said, high and low beams and stuff. Forward into neutral, reverse, parking brake. On the Ace, shifter on the side, high, neutral, reverse, low gear. Got full speedometer. So like I said, this one's got power steering, so super easy steering, just like the Razors and the Rangers. engine temperature, battery voltage, hours, miles. This one does have 8,000 miles on it. Somebody really rode the crap out of this Ace. So we'll see if it still has a good amount of power. But I think we're gonna go drive around here a little bit. So just like the Rangers and the Razors and stuff on this Ace, you gotta have that seatbelt plugged in. Oh, as it stops you at 15 mile an hour. We'll put it on our tack right here. Red light on these things is probably about like 7,500-ish RPM, so we'll see if it'll do that. Well, like I said, these are four-wheel drive. Switch over here on the side, selectable four-wheel drive. Power steering, so it turns nice and easy. Brakes are really good on this thing too. Top speed's probably like 65, maybe 70 on this thing. I haven't tried to top it out. I've definitely hit 60 with it already. Alright, let's do a little launch here. Like I said, power steering, super nice. These things are really comfortable. They sit just like a Razor and stuff. Definitely sitting more upright. The Pilot, you sit more down into it, feels a little more like a sports car. Kind of nice. Doors open on either side on this thing, so you can get in and out from either side. Alright, let's hit it here and see what we hit for some speed. Go through this little right here. Motor's definitely torquey. You know, it doesn't feel as fast as like the 900 Razors. You can tell it's a little detuned. It doesn't want to wrap up quite as fast, but it's very torquey on the low end. So one thing about like the Aces is they are basically a four-wheeler chassis. And you know, with an ATV, you can lead in the turns and stuff. You can't really do that in this. So they feel a lot more tippy. It kind of feels like you're gonna roll pretty easy, which I can definitely imagine on like a side hill or something like that. It'd be pretty easy to tip them. Said you can't really lean your body weight. Test suspension a little bit though. So there's some pretty rough ruts over here. They went through with like a telehandler. All those. We'll hit this stuff with a little speed, see this kind of rides over it. Brakes are definitely very good on this thing though, which is nice. I feel like most of the Polaris stuff has always had really good brakes though. Handles that pretty good. Well, let's try out the Pilot. You know, first things first, sitting position is totally different. Sit a little more laid back in this thing. Obviously your feet are doing nothing, everything's with the hands. So definitely a little different there. No doors on this thing, so you gotta climb into it like a race car. Well, let's go get this thing warmed up and drive it around a little bit. So like I said, we got front brakes on the on the right, and then rear brakes on the left. These have drum brakes in the front, and then a disc brake in the rear. No power steering on this guy. We'll do a little warm-up lap here. It definitely feels like a smaller machine, the Pilot does, compared to the Ace. When you fit a lot tighter into it and stuff, the Ace is definitely a lot roomier. Feels more modern for sure. Rides a little smoother though. I mean, the Ace has got a lot of suspension travel and ground clears, but the Pilot just kind of floats over stuff. Nowhere near as good though. That's one of the downsides of the Pilot. Positive side though is they feel a lot more stable. So like in a turn, they don't feel like they're gonna roll all the time. They'll actually slide a little bit. The rear end's a lot wider on these. Pilot's 60 inches wide, the Ace is 48 inches wide. Off the line and stuff, but you know, like with this Pilot, once it kind of wraps up and hits that power band, it definitely gets going a lot faster. Which these Pilots always are a little cold-blooded. They like that pipe to get nice and hot and stuff. They get snappier as they get hotter. Well, let's go hit that rough stuff over there and see how that kind of compares. I think that went smoother. I think that felt smoother than the Ace did for sure. Like this is pretty rough tracks right here. We'll do a little full speed run right kind of where we took off with the Ace, and then we're gonna have to do a little comparison head to head, see which one's faster. All right. Kick up on that little bump. All right, it's time for a drag race. Three, two, one, go! Whoa. The line. That was closer than I thought it was going to be, honestly. We'll have to run that one again. I'll cheat this time and see if I can jump him. 3, 2, 1. Gonna warm my goggles. We got the big dog fired up here. Now it's time to win a race. Oh yeah, we're ready. We're not gonna lose this race now. That one did well. I thought it was not gonna be as close as what it was, but now it's not gonna be close at all. Plus I blow a belt, which is quite possible. Time for a race. 3, 2, 1. For traction. All right, ready, set, go. Definitely spinning pretty good there for a little bit. Ready, set, go! See if we can pull a wheelie. This vent might be too cold though. Well, I think this is where we'll end the video for today. Overall, Ace is a lot of fun. I mean, it feels more modern. Like I said, it's very similar to a four-wheeler, but you sit and you steer the steering wheel. The Pilots, on the other hand, I think are more fun. Like, they're more confidence-inspiring. You can just take the turns. They feel so much more stable. And honestly, ride quality, like, they're pretty much the same. Like, different feel, but yeah, I mean, unless you're going somewhere where you really need, like, four-wheel drive, or if you're doing mud stuff, I mean, the Ace would be pretty awesome for that, but just with two-wheel drive, these guys go anywhere. And even in the stock form, I did not expect this race to be as close as it was between these two. I really thought the Ace would blow it away. But I guess when you go and grab the big motor Pilot, then it's really not a competition at all. All right, well, follow along for the next thing. Maybe we'll go out and drive these things some more sometime.